talked about how it's going to take a while for this team to gel and just find that cohesiveness. Do you take anything away from the first preseason game like this?
Yeah, I mean, of course you take something from it because, you know, we've been working our habits for the first week. So it's good to go against a different opponent instead of each other. You know, we knew it was going to be times where we'd be struggle. You know, we not move the ball as we would like to. A couple breakdowns defensively. So, you know, but it's good to have those things that you can work on. You know, you have something to look forward to.
Luke said he liked part of the segments where you had the starters out there in the first and the third. You didn't play in the third quarter, but what did you see in the first and when you went back in at the end of the half?
We're just, you know, trying to move the ball, share the ball, get the ball from side to side, and then just communicating defensively, flying around, gang rebounding. So we did have some offensive rebounds early on in the first quarter that if we can clean those up, we can get out and transition, but our pace was good, and our space was good too.
Did you find a little rhythm right away with Brandon Ingram in that first quarter?
I find rhythm with anybody that is very energetic offensively, and that's a guy who moved without the ball. And you know, my first assist was to him. They just moved on the weak side, and I was able to deliver a pass to him.
What do you think defensively you guys have to continue to iron out and figure out as the
everything? We gotta get better every day. It was great to get back on the floor, you know, and then just start a new journey for myself. Hear the Laker fans that we have here in San Diego. It was a great feeling to go out there and hear the roar from the fans here, so very much appreciated.
Playing time for you, or did you go in expecting a little differently?
I played a little bit more than expected, actually, and I felt pretty good.
Amongst you guys?
But just wearing a Lakers uniform officially for the first time, did that feel different?
Yeah, it always feels different for me. Anytime you change uniforms, felt different when I changed, you know, from wearing the St. Mary jersey to a Cavs jersey, from Cavs jersey to a Heat jersey, back to a Cavs jersey, and now being a Laker. So it definitely feels different, you know, and it takes a little bit of time getting used to it.
Like amongst you guys during the game and after the game in terms of giving each other feedback on what you were seeing out there?
It's all about, I mean, it's a lot of communication. I can't break down everything that we talked about, but we talked about a lot. And that's going to be good for our ball club. I haven't found myself a lot back here, you know, since I've had my academy where I have, you know, my kids camp. But also I got married in San Diego, you know, to my wife 5 years ago. So it was always been a great place to be a part of. I mean, they did well. I mean, some of them did better than others, but we can work them. You know, some of the lineups that we had on the floor, we haven't even practiced. You know, so you know, it's good to see though we can have you know, the ability to do that. Well, we only went through one or two deep of our defensive coverages. We have a few in, but we want to get very good at one thing before we start switching things up. So, and then we only have a few of our offensive sets in as well. So, when you look at Denver, their continuity, they've been in, you know, for a few years now. So, we're nowhere near where they are, but we want to try to continue to work what we can do and work our habits.
We're not going to make a bad deal. If it's a good deal, then we're interested. So I think, you know, Glenn, Scott, myself, I think we've made that clear to everyone. I think Jimmy understands, the team understands, but you have to put the team first. Again, our job is to try to acquire the best players that we can and then put a plan in place where we can work with our players and then get ready to compete. So in terms of where Jimmy is, he came in, he did his physical. He still needs a little time to finish up his rehab and some conditioning, so he's probably a week away. And this isn't the first time we've had requests for players to be traded. So anytime that happens, you know, you look at what's available and if it makes sense for the team. If it makes sense for the team, we'll do it. But Jimmy needs about a week, and we're going to give that to him. Is there ever good timing for that type of request? Probably not, but the one thing, we know how Jimmy's valued in the league. If you're a top 10 player, there's going to be interest. And we're not gonna make a bad deal. We're gonna make sure we make a good deal. The deal has to make sense for us.
And when I spoke to Jimmy Butler, he said that wasn't the case. He believes that Karl Anthony does care, but he's going to be more forthcoming in the days to come. He just wants everything to go down. In the end, he has to end up somewhere. Jimmy Butler is hard-nosed. He's hardcore. He wants to compete. And let's face reality. You're the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can't compete. The best thing you have going for you is the fact that you got to the playoffs and you got bounced out in the first round in 5 games by Houston. This is not a championship contender. Jimmy Butler wants to find himself in an ideal situation where he's in a major market or he's in a championship contender, and the preference would be Butler.
But let me just, I agree with your premise that they're not a championship contender, but then something is missing because you have a supermax contract in Karl Anthony Towns and you have a max contract in Andrew Wiggins and you have a perennial all-star in Jimmy Butler. That should be the making of a championship team. So why isn't it? If you have 3 guys of that who are paid that way, they're paid like superstars. Why are they so much less than they should
Forgive
be?
my words, but it's just a cute question, and here's why.
Yeah.
You know why it's not good enough? Because they don't have James Harden, and they don't have Russell Westbrook, and they don't have Steph Curry, and they don't have Kevin Durant, and they don't have Klay Thompson, and they don't have LeBron James.
These guys are paid like they are that.
These people are, well, again, somebody is, it depends on the market. You can't have everybody. So if you're in Minnesota, yes, even though the parts that you have aren't good enough, you know that they're the best parts that are available to you, and they're going to command what the market says they're allowed. If you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, can you afford to lose Karl Anthony Towns for 82 games a season, 41 home games? You cannot.
NBA 新赛季马上开始了，我们独行侠也加入了很多新鲜血液，像东契奇、小乔丹、布伦森、子母弟，还有丁彦雨航。为了和小丁好好聊聊，我最近都在苦练中文，但是我觉得自己的德国口音还是有点重，不知道中部的老司机们能不能带带我。最后，请大家跟我一起大喊3声我们的队名：独行侠，独行侠，独行侠。
I don't even know where you're sitting at. I just can't give you a whole spiel. I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball. I mean, it's just more question you have to ask me in order for me to tell you about myself. I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.